Patricia, we're reading the story of Adam and Eve. Does it offend you?
No.
Well, what about the fact that the way the story is told is that Eve is deceived, but Adam made more of a conscious decision to stay with Eve so that they could have children, us.
I believe just the way the story is told in the scriptures, how the devil convinced Eve to partake of the fruit first. Now, some women think that Eve had a inclination or inkling that it was going to be her duty to partake of the fruit, and that was the way it's supposed to go. I don't believe she knew that.
Do you think that Satan could have deceived Adam?
No, not as easily. Actually, I don't think Satan could have ever convinced Adam to take of the fruit, because he asked Adam first.
Oh, he did?
He did ask Adam first, and he said no. So then Satan goes to Eve, who I believe is the weaker vessel.
So does that mean that women today are less than men?
No, it doesn't mean that at all. It just means that she was more approachable, more receptive to Satan's message. You know, he made it sound good to her, and I think she was truly deceived.
However, we don't consider what she did or what Adam did a sin. We consider it a transgression. What's the difference?
Right. Well, a sin would be something that we intentionally choose to do. I don't believe Eve intentionally transgressed. I don't think she really thought about the consequences of her actions. He knew when the minute he found out that Eve partook of the fruit that she would be cast out into a world by herself. And he also knew that they were commanded to multiply and replenish the earth. With them separated, that could not have happened.
They were given two conflicting commandments. I mean, one was not partake of the tree, and the other one was replenish the earth. And while they were in a state of innocence in the Garden of Eden, they could not multiply.
No.
So it turns out to be a blessing for all of us, doesn't it?
It was a blessing for all of us.
And that's why we honor Father Adam and Mother Eve. Eve, the mother of all living.
Right, and it doesn't make Eve any less of a person than it did Adam. But I think that Adam had a stronger conviction of God's commandments than Eve did.
Well, I want to ask you about women holding the priesthood. Do you think you need to hold the priesthood?
Not a bit, no. I don't want to hold the priesthood.
Why not? There are a lot of women out there who think that they're being second-rate members of the Mormon Church by not holding the priesthood.
It's just ridiculous. It's, women don't hold the priesthood. That is authority that a man holds, but, because the man is the head of the household, whether women like it or not, they're the head of the household. They are to subject themselves to their husband, not in an abusive manner.
Is your husband abusive to you?
No.
And you don't have to follow him if he is abusive to you?
No, I do not. And I would not.
Ooh.
So that's where men get that part wrong. They think, and because the scripture says they're the head of the household, makes them king, and it doesn't.
So that means that women only need to follow their husbands in righteousness.
In righteousness, exactly. No other reason.
What words of comfort would you have for all those feminists out there who've taken this so personally and been hurt and think that somehow that they're not getting the blessings that men are?
I would say embrace, being a woman. And because we as women have different, we're not here for the same reason. We have different natures, different missions. Women are nurturers, and they have children, and, men can't play that role of having children. So one's not any more important than the other. But
Well, it could even be argued that having children and being a mother is even more important.
And they could. And it is very, very important.
So
and that's something a man can't do that only women can do.
What kind of blessings have you received being a member of the church and being a mother? I mean, you have a son.
I do have a son. I have blessings in my life of being able to, carry a child for 9 months and watch him be born and watch him grow up and, watch his baby teeth fall out and his permanent teeth come in and watch him grow up in different stages. And men can't compete with that. No. There's a different bond between a mother and a child than a father and a child. So there's lots of things women can have that men can't experience.
So are there any blessings in the church that you feel like you've been denied because you're a woman?
Not at all. Mm-mm. Because we, as women in Relief Society, we're just as important as men in priesthood class, in the priesthood holders. And then as we're married to men with priesthood holders, then we have those blessings. And should we need more power than we have, we can always call on somebody with a priesthood and get those blessings. So women have many, if not more blessings than men.
Do you think your husband treats you right with his priesthood?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any advice for him?
My advice for him was just to continue being the spiritual leader in our home. That's more important than anything else. That's what holds family together, and that's why we can be together in eternities as a family.
So you've been through the temple with him?
I've been through the temple with him, yes.
And sealed with it?
And sealed with him, correct.
And do you love your husband?
I do.
He loves you.
Thanks.